everybody. My name is Jim Horton, and I am with Old School Yoga. I'm here to introduce Mid-Continent Public Library's Beginning Yoga Series. Old School Yoga is a couple of things. First, because I'm an old guy. Secondly, because the philosophy and the attitude I take toward yoga is I go back to old school, to the roots, to the beginning. So, what does yoga actually mean? Let's start from the beginning. What does yoga actually mean? Well, yoga in the original ancient Sanskrit means yoke, or union. Like in the old days when you take two mules and you yoke them together, or two oxen and you would yoke them together, yoke or union. So it's kind of like the union between peanut butter and jelly, or the union between husband and wife, or the union between brother and sister. The yoga that we're teaching, we'll introduce today, is the union between breath and body. So my body is my vessel is not 100% right now, which is very important because part of yoga is to listen to your body. A lot of people think I can do that, or that's an intermediate course, but I can take that. Most importantly, listen to your body, sit with it, and your body will tell you whether you should do whatever it is that you think you can do. So I listened to my body. I wanted to do this class so bad, but I just couldn't. So I'm going to introduce to you just a smidgen of yoga philosophy. I'm going to relate that to my partner here, who will take us through the rest of the class. I just can't do it. I do apologize. So, to start out with, if you could imagine Russian dolls, where you take one doll off, there's another inside, there's another inside. So, yogic philosophy is that there are 5 sheaths of being, or 5 layers to this Russian doll. The most outer layer, which we're in right now, is the physical body. The bones, the muscle, the food, all the physical stuff on the physical world. The second sheath of being is the energy body. We find the energy body with our breath. So we have the physical stuff, next level down, next level inside is our energy body. Now, the next level is the mind sheath, or the mind body. Mind is essentially just that, mind. It's your monkey mind. It's where your monkey mind's going, gosh, am I doing this right? Is there a booger on my nose? Oh my gosh. It's all your thoughts, it's all your emotions, it's all your memories, it's all your games, it's your monkey mind. So that's where most people operate. It's your games, it's your racket, which is fine. I'm there way too often. The next level inside of that is what I really like, and that is the bliss body. Now, I'm not going to get into much of that now because it's not time yet. We'll address that when I do my meditation class in June. So in the bliss body, you ever had a deal where you haven't seen your aunt for 20 years, and you're sitting there and you have a thought, I wonder what Aunt Sally's up to. And the next day, Aunt Sally calls you on the phone. Everybody's had experiences like that. You think of you're going to a grocery store and you run into someone you haven't seen forever, or you're thinking about a car wreck you just had, and suddenly a lawyer appears. So on that level, that's the clairvoyancy, that's the ESPs, that is the coincidences, all that airy-fairy stuff. We're not going to go there today. We'll go into that later on when we have a continuing series from the Mid-Continent Public Library. So that's pretty much it for me. I'm going to go take a break, and I'm going to turn this all over to Tricia, who will take us through the physical body. She'll give you the best class ever on how to introduce you to yoga. We'll do a mat. We'll do a standing. That's ahead of myself, though. She will take you through the breath work, the breathing. She'll connect the breath to the body. Your monkey mind, you're going to be going, what the hell am I doing here? That's all right. It's all right. Just sit with it. Let whatever comes up, come up. It's going to be fine. So, without further ado, I'm exiting stage right. Trish is taking over. Have fun. If you don't have fun, what's the point? Thank you so much. Namaste. I'll see you again next class.
Well, hello everyone. My name is Tricia Tarian, and it is a privilege to get to bring a little bit of yoga to you. So the first thing I want you to do is get in a really comfortable seated posture. And for some people, sitting down on the floor like this is a little bit of a challenge. So here are a couple props that we use often in yoga. We use yoga blocks. And fun fact, if you have a full roll of toilet paper, it is the same height. So if you don't have yoga blocks at home, you can grab yourself 2 rolls of toilet paper, and they bring the floor a little closer to you, so it's very helpful. The next prop we use frequently is a blanket. This is any kind of blanket will do. And we just kind of give it a nice little fold so it sits across the mat, or you can sit up on it. When you're in a seated posture, we really would like the knees in line with the hips rather than higher than the hips. So if you're sitting on the floor and your knees are up high, I'd ask you to sit up on a block or to sit up on a blanket. And then the third prop that we use a lot, it's called a bolster. Sometimes bolsters look like this, sometimes they're round. So a pillow, if you have a sturdy pillow, you could use that. All very helpful if you're not comfortable sitting on the floor. So I'll give you just a moment to see if you need any props to use. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go over the breath that we use in yoga. The breath that we use in yoga is called Ujjai. Ujjai translates to victorious. So we're going to use this really energetic, active breath. It's different than your daily breath. As we take a breath, we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. But as you take your breath, I want you to try to get your ribs to expand. Most often when we take a breath, we kind of lift our shoulders. And I want you to get those ribs to expand. As you exhale, you're going to try to draw your floating ribs in, kind of pull that navel towards your spine and lift your pelvic floor. Gals, it's kind of like a Kegel exercise. Guys, it's like stopping the flow of urine. You know, it's like pull up that pelvic floor. Our diaphragm is actually connected to the pelvic floor, so it's really helpful. It's audible. You hear this breath. It sounds like the ocean. It feels like you're fogging a mirror. So we'll practice this a couple of times. I want you to inhale through your nose, full breath in. Try to get your ribs to expand. Pause. Relax your jaw and exhale out that breath. Let's do that again. Take a full breath in through your nose. Try to get your ribs to move. Pause. Relax your jaw. Exhale it out. Pull those floating ribs in. Pull that navel deep. Pull that pelvic floor up. It's really energetic. And let's do that one more time. Full breath in. Ribs expand. Pause. Relax your jaw. Exhale it out. Very nice. So now we're going to continue with that. It's called a throat breath, but we're going to seal the lips, and we're going to keep all that heat in the body to warm things up. So we're going to, breath is life. Breath is the most important part of our yoga practice. If you're in a posture and you're holding your breath, I want you to back out of it a little bit and tune into your breath. Your breath is like the dashboard on your car. You know, when a light lights up, you kind of look at it and think, oh, I got to go take my car in. When you catch yourself holding your breath, it's a signal. You're in it too deep. So just learn to connect. It's all about connecting your breath with your movement. So with that, I invite you to soften your gaze or close your eyes down and take some time just to observe your normal breath. And then we'll get into some Ujjai breathing. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Full breath in and a full breath out. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain wide open. May we know the beauty of our own true spirit. May we be healed, and may we be a source of healing in this world. May all beings be happy, and may all beings be free. So we always ask that you set an intention before your yoga practice. What is it that you want to receive from your yoga? What is it that you want to give to your yoga? Why are you even here? Why did you get on the mat? Like, learn to be more intentional. So I'll give you a moment. What is your intention for practicing yoga today? Hear yourself say that. And I invite you just to kind of turn up the corners of your mouth a little bit. Find an inner smile. Very nice. Open up your eyes. Take your hands out to the side. Inhale and bring your arms all the way up over your head. Full breath in. Exhale and release that breath. Get rid of that breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale and release your breath. One more time. Inhale your arms up over your head. Now rotate your torso around to the right and release your arms, looking over your back shoulder. Inhale those arms up. We'll twist around to the left. And as you exhale, release your arms. Inhale your arms up. Twist it back to the right. Exhale and release. Inhale your arms up. We'll twist it around to the left one last time and release those arms. Inhale your arms all the way up over your head. Interlace your fingers and turn your palms toward the ceiling. So if you can't get your arms straight, just take them out in front of you. That's okay. But what I want you to do is kind of notice, can you lift your ribs and then tuck your tailbone a little bit towards the mat? Take a breath. And as you exhale, we'll just reach towards the right a little. Very good. Inhale, come center, readjust. Exhale, we'll reach left. So side bending like this really helps to stimulate the liver, the kidneys, and the spleen. Inhale, come on up. Release your hands. Turn your palms towards each other and just reach up as high as you can. Take a full breath in. Exhale, release your arms, roll your shoulders back, and walk your hands out in front. So you come just into a little bit of a fold. So a folding's kind of a challenge. You could always take a block out in front of you, place your hands on a block, and then I want you to find a little movement here. I always like to remind my students that stagnant energy stinks, right? We walk by a stagnant pond, and there's muck on the top, and it's stinky. Same thing with our bodies. We don't want our energy to get stagnant, so move a little. Tip and tuck your pelvis, rock side to side. You might find a place that stress is hiding. It's sneaky. Let's walk those hands all the way over to the right. As you walk your hands towards the right, really press that left sit bone into your mat. Let's avoid tipping or leaning. Stay grounded. Take a full breath in. Let's see if you can get those ribs on your back to move. And as you exhale, draw those floating ribs in. And very slowly walk those hands back to center. Just pause for a moment. And we'll move to the other side. Walk those hands left. Keep that right sit bone in contact with the mat. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. Walk those hands back to center, and we'll just pause here for a moment. When we take a breath, we bring oxygen into the body. That it heals. Oxygen repairs and energizes. When we exhale, we're getting rid of carbon dioxide. That's toxic, so we're like getting rid of all the toxic stuff out of our bodies. Beautiful, beautiful practice. Let's walk those hands nice and slow. Sit up tall, roll your shoulders back, and we'll just switch out the foot you have in front. In yoga, we're not crossing the ankles. This is called Sukhasana, or easy seated posture. Take your hands out to the side. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head, just connecting breath with movement. Exhale and release. Draw your floating ribs in. Inhale those arms up over your head, full breath. Exhale and release. Awesome. Inhale your arms up over your head. As you exhale, release your right hand down to the floor. Stretch that left arm up as high as you can. Then just reach those fingers over to the right. If you can, look up at that left bicep. Try to get that arm behind your nose a little bit. And if you need to, just turn your chin down, relax your neck. Keeping the left sit bone in contact with the mat, lift the left rib cage away from your hips and reach those fingers towards the right. It's all about what is happening on the left side body. We're really trying to open it up here. Full breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, come on up. Roll your shoulders back. We'll take a new breath in. Arms up. Release the left hand. Reach up through those right fingers, and as you exhale, we'll reach over to the left. And again, look up at that bicep. Let's try to get that bicep behind your nose and turn your chin down. Press down into your right sit bone. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, come on up. Release your arm, roll your shoulders back, walk your hands out in front of you, come into that fold again. So these folds really help to wake up the hips. Find a little movement. Tune into your breath and just consider yourself to be an explorer. You know, you're just diving into parts of your body that you don't often pay attention to. Take a breath. Exhale, draw that navel deep, deep, deep into your body. Maybe a little sway. And we'll walk our hands over to the right, keeping the left sit bone in contact with your mat. So if you walk to the right and that left rear lifts away from the mat, just walk your hands towards the center a little bit. Try to take a breath and make those ribs on your back move. And as you exhale, pull up that pelvic floor, notice. And we'll walk those hands back center. And on your next breath, walk those hands over to the left. Remind yourself to stay grounded. Full breath in. And a full breath out. Walk your hands back to center. And if it's comfortable, walk your hands out a little further and maybe put your forehead down. Come up on your fingertips. Tune into your Ujjai breath. Full breath in. Remember, it's like you're fogging a mirror. Exhale, get rid of that breath. Squeeze that breath out of your body. It's used up. It's toxic. We don't need it anymore. And slowly lift your head, walk those hands back in, roll your shoulders back. Interlace your fingers in front of your chest, press the palms towards the front, and slide your shoulders down your back. Take a new breath. Exhale, sit up a little bit taller, ribs away from your hips. Slide your shoulders down your back. And we'll do that just one more time. Press those palms forward, slide the shoulders down. Inhale those arms up over your head. Just like where we started. Take another breath. Exhale, see if you can slide those shoulders away from your ears. And release your hands all the way down to your side. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder. And slowly bring your chin down towards your throat, and we'll just pause right here. Tuck your chin as close to your throat as you can. Keep sliding your shoulders down your back. Maintain your posture, ribs away from your hips. When we tuck the chin towards our throat, we compress the thyroid. The thyroid is responsible for our immune system and our metabolism. So give it a good squeeze in here. And lift your chin. And we'll take that left ear towards the left shoulder. Just let the shoulders relax down your back. And very slowly bring your chin down towards your throat again. So maintain your posture, ribs away from your hips, tuck your chin towards your throat. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, I'd like you just to lift your chin and aim it towards the ceiling. So compressing the thyroid in the opposite direction. Protect the back of your neck. So we're not throwing the head back. We're just getting a nice stretch in the front of the neck. So maybe you might reach the chin forward a little. Just kind of feel it right through the front of the throat, front of the neck. And come to a center. Look forward for me. Roll your shoulders back. And we're going to move to tabletop. So shift on your mat. Come up on your hands and knees. Hands are right under your shoulders and knees are right underneath your hips. And then I always ask, tap out the tops of your feet. Wake them up a little bit. Now we're going to move through what we call cat and cow. The first thing I want you to do is tuck your tailbone. Press your spine towards the ceiling and tuck your chin in towards your throat. This is called cat. So visualize you're one of those Halloween cats up on a fence. You know that black silhouette we see at Halloween time? Now tip the tailbone towards the ceiling, lower the chest a little bit, draw that sternum forward and lift your chin. This is cow. Exhale, we'll go back to our cat. So tuck your tailbone, press the spine towards the ceiling, tuck your chin. Mic drop. Now let's move into our cow. Tip the tailbone, lower the chest, and lift your chin. So I want you to do this a couple of times, moving with your breath. Exhale into your cat, tuck the tailbone, press the spine up, tuck your chin. Inhale, tip the tailbone up, lower the chest a little, lift your chin. We do that 2 more times. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, press through the spine, tuck your chin in. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lower the chest a little, and lift your chin. Just 1 more time. Exhale, draw that tailbone down, press through the spine, tuck your chin in. Inhale into your cat, tip the tailbone, lower the chest, and lift your chin. Exhale into your cat for me, please. So tuck the tailbone. So I want you to hold it in your cat here and notice we shorten the distance between the hips and the ribs here. Now, extend your right hand towards the ceiling. And so if you've got some tightness in your shoulder, just take that right hand out to the side, shoulder level, or bring it on up. Take a breath and exhale, reach those fingers just a little bit higher, and we'll bring that hand down. You might want to slinky it out, just kind of release your back a little bit. Come back to a tabletop, so get your back nice and flat. Shorten the distance between the hips and the ribs a little. When you're ready, inhale, extend that left hand out front, or you can bring it all the way up, whatever works for you. You might even take your gaze up to your left thumb. Take a breath. Exhale. Let's see if we can reach through those fingers a little bit more. And release that hand down. And give me another cat and cow. Inhaling to your cow. Exhale to your cat. Stay in this nice strong cat posture. Bring the big toes together and then make those knees go as wide as your mat. Then press yourself back to child's posture. This is extended child's posture. It's also called balasana. So you can place the forehead down on the mat, and if this is too intense for the shoulders, just bring your elbows in and rest right here. Just try to get yourself in a fold. This is a nice place to use a block. You could have that block so you can sit back on it. If this is too intense for the knees, and just take a moment, find your breath, Tuning into the breath work. And see if you can get those ribs on your back to move. Yeah. Find a little sway. We don't want stress hiding in our body. We want to address it. Just bring your hands back towards your shoulders and come up to your tabletop. Bring those knees in. Bring your elbows down to the mat so the elbows are directly below the shoulders. And pick up your right knee and just kind of scooch it back, maybe 4 inches. And then that left knee. Bring your forehead to the floor and see if you can walk those hands out in front of you. This is called puppy. A great stretch for the shoulder, great stretch for the spine. Now, while you're here, I want you to think about that cat that we did in the beginning. Shorten the distance between your ribs and your hips. If this is intense on the shoulders, keep your elbows down. You don't have to have those forearms off the mat. It's up to you. You can keep those elbows down or walk those hands out a little further so the forearms are not on the mat. You can even come up on those fingertips. New breath in. And a new breath out. Very nice. So if you have your elbows off the mat, go ahead and bend your elbows. Lift your head. Very slowly start to pull yourself through. Let's bring the hips to the mat and your belly to the mat. So kind of pick up your legs, give me a little march, and really get those legs close to each other. We want internal rotation here. So when we do internal rotation, we fire up the inner thighs and it protects the pelvis. So try to get your pinky toes to touch the mat. That's going to help you. Now we're energizing the legs strong enough that the knees are off the mat. Now let's move up to the hands. I want you to press into your hands and pull yourself forward. See if you can lift your sternum just a little bit more. Are your legs still strong? Knees are off the mat. Take a breath, and as you exhale, I want you to look over your right shoulder. Open up your eyes big. And just stretch your gaze. Hold that gaze open. That fires up neurons in our brain to help us balance. Really important. And as we take this gaze over our shoulder, we're taking our chin over towards that right shoulder. We're stretching a very important nerve, the vagus nerve. Give me 2 more breaths here. Your legs are still strong. You're drawing yourself forward. 1 more breath. And come center. Just let those elbows come out and make a little pillow with your hands and put your forehead down on your hands and rest for a moment. Go ahead and relax your legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Come back up on your elbows, please. This posture is called the Sphinx posture. So lots of energy in your hands. Pull yourself forward. Draw that sternum, your breastbone, forward and up. Energize your legs. Remember, the knees are off the mat. Pelvis is really making contact here. Now you'll take a breath, and as you exhale, we'll look over that left shoulder. Open your eyes big and just keep taking your gaze past that shoulder. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. Legs are strong, arms are strong. You're lifting and bringing yourself forward. Your eyes are held open big and you're breathing. Don't forget to breathe. We have to breathe. Breath is life. And you might even turn up the sides of your mouth a little bit. Find that inner smile. Take 1 more breath. And come around to center. Let those elbows rest out. Put your hands together. Make a little forehead. Bend your knees. And just windshield wiper those feet side to side. Give that back a little bit of a release. That's a nice supported back bend. Kind of march. Bring those legs in. Bring your feet back to the mat. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. And press yourself all the way back to that child's posture. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, we'll round up to a nice, strong cat. Remember, you're that Halloween cat up on a fence. Get into that cat and curl your toes. Now, take a breath for me. As you exhale, let those knees kind of hover off the mat. Just lift your knees away from the mat. You're still giving me a cat tilt. Nice, strong cat tilt. Oh, get those abs nice and strong. Pull your navel in deep. Take another breath. Exhale, push your glutes, your rear, up towards the ceiling, and then stretch your heels towards the floor. This is called downward facing dog or Adho Mukha. What is great about Adho Mukha, it's weight bearing. So we're going to keep our bones strong when we practice downward facing dog and plank postures. So when you are in your downward facing dog, I'd like for you to look up at your hands, and we're just going to walk your hands one handprint forward. And look back at your feet. Your right foot's in line with the right hand, and the left foot's in line with the left hand. Now, getting the heels to touch the mat is, you know, what we see often in downward facing dog, but it's not the main adjustment. We would like to have your spine nice and long. So if the hamstrings are tight, the back of your legs are tight, bend your knees, that's okay. Take a breath. As you exhale, press into your hands. Press your chest back towards your thighs just a little bit, and perhaps straighten those legs. And we'll do that again. Lift your heels for me. Bend your knees a little, press yourself back towards your thighs, and see if maybe you can straighten your legs a little. All right, let's take a little break here. Lift your heels, bring your knees to the mat. Slinky it out, cat and cow. Just release it all. Very nice. Now, step your right foot between your hands here. Very good. When we come here, I'd like for your knee and your ankle to be in the same line. So kind of walk that foot forward. And this is a good place to use some blocks. To have those blocks right here gets the floor a little closer so you can kind of lift up a little bit. This stretch is for your hip flexor. We're trying to get into the front of your left hip and your left thigh. So once you feel balance, kind of shift the hips forward a little bit. Now bring your hands to your right thigh. Lift your torso and just stay right here for a moment. Breathe in. Breathe out. You can keep your hands on your thighs, or you can extend that left hand towards the ceiling. See if you can get your bicep by your ear. And then the right hand. We got to start to feel our core muscles. Our core muscles really start in the inner thighs. So fire up that inner thigh. Take a breath. Exhale, hinge it forward for me. Bring that right knee next to the left. Go through a cat and a cow just to release any tension you might have collected in that low back. Take that left foot between your hands. So same thing. Come forward a little bit. Line up your knee with your ankle. Grab your blocks or your toilet paper rolls if you have those. Shift into the hips just a little bit. Then take your hands to your left thigh and lift your chest. You want to scoot that left foot forward so you see your toes. Shift the hips forward a little so you feel that stretch in the front of your right hip and the front of the right thigh. You can keep your hands on your thigh or extend that right hand up. And then the left hand. This is called Ujjai or Crescent. So eventually we're going to make this crescent moon shape with the back side of our body. Nice chest opener. Press into that front foot. We'll take one more breath here. As you exhale, hinge it forward. Bring your left knee next to the right. Give me a little cat and a cow. Press your glutes back towards your heels, coming into your child's posture. This time, let's bring our hands down by your side and let the forehead rest on the mat. If the forehead is not on the mat, you could always put a block underneath your forehead. And I'd like you just to gently rock side to side. And give me a big squeeze with your fist. And release your hands. Full breath in. And a full breath out. Bring your hands so they're right under your shoulders. Come up nice and slow. Shift your weight over to one side and we'll get your feet out in front of you. Keep your knees bent. And bring your elbows to the mat and slowly come all the way down. Take your right knee and draw it in towards your torso. Extend your left leg all the way down. So when you're holding onto your right leg, see if you can grab behind your hamstring, or you can hold on to the shin. I just want you to avoid the kneecap. We want to go around the knee, the joint. Take a breath. Exhale, hug that leg in. Try to work your back nice and flat to the mat. This is a 3-part posture that really helps to massage our colon. So right now, this is our ascending colon. Yoga's been used for thousands of years to heal our bodies. It was never intended to be a form of exercise like we do here in the United States. Take one more breath. As you exhale, we'll just switch out the legs any way you'd like. Extend the right leg out, pull the left leg in. All right, so draw the left leg in as close to the torso as you can. See if you can keep your right knee and your right toes aiming towards the ceiling. We want to internally rotate that leg a little bit. Take a breath. Exhale, hug that leg in as you work your back flat to the mat. And this is the descending colon. Breathe into it. Find that breath. Explore where you might be holding on to some tension. Take a breath. Exhale, give yourself a nice hug. Work your back to the mat. Release your hands, but keep that left knee in, and we'll bring that right knee in to join it. This time, I'd like you to lift your shoulders, wrap your arms around your shins. See if you can reach for the opposite elbow. Go ahead and let that low back kind of pull up off the mat and place your shoulders down. This is for the transverse colon and also for our hip flexors. I want you to take a breath. As you exhale, hug your legs into your thighs, then try to work your back to the mat. And you might notice about 4 breaths you get closer and closer to the mat. So take some time. Take a breath. Exhale, hug the legs in as you try to work your back a little bit closer to the mat. And I'd ask you not to cross your ankles. Avoid crossing your feet or your ankles and try to hold your knees together. Take a new breath. Exhale and hug those legs in and work your back a little flatter. Tune into it. You might soften your gaze and really feel your breath and how your breath can soften everything. Melt away that tension in your body. Take another breath. Exhale, hug those legs in. Great. Release your hands and bring your feet to the mat. We'll keep those knees bent. Take your arms out to the side. Take a new breath, and as you exhale, just allow those knees to rest over to the right. And take your chin towards the left shoulder, keeping your left shoulder in contact with the mat. twist really help the spine stay supple. Breathe in. Breathe out. Think about twisting like wringing a sponge, right? So when you exhale, I want you to draw your navel really deep, like that last effort of squeezing a sponge out, getting all the water out. I want you to do that with your exhale. Inhale, we'll bring those knees center. Take a moment just to get your back nice and flat. As you exhale, we'll take those knees to the left and take your gaze to the right. And I'd like you to keep your right shoulder down. So if you're letting that right shoulder come up, this is a nice place. You could put a block underneath that left knee to help you not allow that right shoulder to lift. Full breath in and a full breath out. Make it active. Remember, Ujjai breathing is victorious breath. Get rid of it. Inhale and exhale. On your inhale, we'll come back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together and allow those knees to open out to the side. This is called reclining bound angle. If this is not comfortable for you, you can always place a block underneath your knee or kind of up a little bit closer to the hip to give you some nice support. And bring your right hand to your abdomen and your left hand to your heart. And I want you to start to notice the breath. Notice the breath in your belly so much that you feel your hand move. Notice the breath in your chest. And remind yourself the breath of life is in you. The breath of life is moving through you. Full breath in. And a full breath out. So winding down to the end of our practice, I'd like to challenge you to come up with 3 things that you're thankful for. Bring it to the front of your thoughts. Gratitude can change everything. Slowly draw your knees together and extend those legs out in front of you. Bring your arms down by your side with your palms turned up. And you want a little bit of space between your legs and your arms and your torso, and just kind of rock out your legs for me. And then give me a big squeeze with your hands and release. Gently rock the back of your head across the mat. Close your eyes and surrender. This is called Savasana, or corpse posture. And the idea is we're going to spend a little bit of time in here, allowing transformation to take place. When we come up out of Savasana, we're just a little different than when we started our practice. So full breath in, and a full breath out. I'm going to let you stay here for 5 minutes, tuning into your breath, trying to train that monkey mind to slow down. And the way we do that is we stay focused with one thought. So inhale, I am. Exhale, calm and relaxed. Inhale, I am. Exhale, loving and kind. Inhale, I am. Exhale, letting go. if you notice that you're thinking about your grocery list or you got to do this or that, use one of those phrases and just repeat it. Inhaling, I am. Exhale, loving and kind. Inhale, I am. Exhale, calm and relaxed. Inhale, I am. Exhale, letting go. I'll let you know when it's time. Start to bring your awareness back to your body. Take a full breath in as much as you can draw into your body. Hold it for a moment. Relax your jaw and exhale it out. Wiggle your toes. Rub each finger with your thumb. Run your tongue around in your mouth. Draw your knees in. Hug your knees and gently rock side to side. Rock your way to fetal posture, and you want to rest on your weaker side when you come out of that Savasana. And just be there for a moment. And when you're ready, press yourself up to a comfortable seated posture. Bring your hands into prayer at heart center. In yoga, this is called Anjali Mudra, and it means the seal of the heart. So press your thumb knuckles toward your sternum and take your gaze down to your heart. And be mindful to nurture the virtues of your heart: compassion, kindness, gentleness, humility, patience, and love. Love wins, my friends. Bring your hands out to the side, sweep your arms up, and just give thanks for your amazing body. Bring your hands to your forehead and ask for help in having clear, focused thoughts. Bring your hands to your mouth, asking for help in speaking the truth with tenderness. And to your heart, asking for help in being more compassionate with others and with yourself. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Om Shanti. Go in peace.